So good morning and welcome. It's Friday the 19th of October and it is 20 minutes past 10 in the morning and it is a very drizzly, grey, dark old morning on the Norfolk Broads today. So after a slow start and a nice breakfast, the rain had stopped. It seems to be a reoccurring theme where it rains overnight and then come the morning it stops. Good. So today's plan is either Wroxham or Horning to collect my mother. Now she's coming about 4 o'clock on the train from London, so either way it's going to be a bit interesting because it would be advantageous to moor in Wroxham because then just stroll up to the station to meet her, but of course moorings are at a premium in Wroxham, so Horning is another good place to go, although she'd have to get a cab to Horning. So we'll see what the mooring situation is. Just coming along the River Thurn, that's Thurn Dyke behind us, and so what we're going to do today first of all is go to Ludham and top up with water, and then from Ludham we'll take it down to I don't know where, maybe along the Bure and to somewhere along there and stop off for lunch, or carry on up the river ramp because it's a very beautiful river, but obviously I need to think about where to go with my mum, you know, show her around a bit. Taking the boat back Monday morning, so Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, so still 3 nights to go. It's a bit like I've just collected the boat for a short break over the weekend, and that's what makes a 10-day break excellent. I would have liked to have this boat for 11 days and it would have cost me no more money, but unfortunately the bookings wouldn't allow for that, so someone else is having this boat from next week. But otherwise, with Richardson's, you can have a 10 or 11 night holiday, and if you have 11 nights, just like if you had 4 nights and not a weekend 3-night break, that extra night doesn't cost you anything. So that's a good way of doing things, and you save money because it's a week's hire charge plus 50% off the following week's hire charge. So it's like it's better than a week and a short break as far as price goes. Anyway, as things develop and happen, I shall let you know. I just want to say hello to those on St Helena who passed me last night and said, keep up the good work, love the blog. So hello people, I don't know who you are, but you'll be watching this I'm sure. And yes, now I've got Andermer. But when you go Andermer, it's time to say shut up and go, because there's only one thing worse than erming and ahhing, and that's starting to crack up laughing when you're trying to record something. So now just at the junction where the Thurn meets the Bure, and I will update you as and when more happens. Bye for now. So this is just an example of the weather today. As you can see, it's very bleak and grey, and this here is the River Bure. If you go down there, you'll go to Yarmouth and Acle and Stokesby, and if you go right, you'll come along to places such as South Walsham, St Bennett's, the River Ann, and further on down to Horning and Wroxham. I sound like a tour guide. On our right hand side we have a speed limit sign of 6 miles an hour. In front of us we have an unsure boat. Did he want to go down the River Thurn, or does he want to go along the River Bure? Well, he wants to go along the River Bure. Alright, yep, okay, we'll calm down. It's cabin fever, alright, it's getting to me. Okay guys, I've just seen that Lads Week is just round the corner, and they're coming down the river, so this should be interesting. So you've got Broad Ambition in front, probably Jeweller Light 2 behind, and then Jeweller Light 3 at the back. So just round this next corner. It's like a drive-by of the Lads. guys, I'm back. Bloody hell, what just happened then? I went a bit mad. Then. It's alright. We're alright. Bloody hell, I tell you what. It's just the lads going past, and then that was it. I was gone. I was away with the fairies. But fortunately, I always carry a spare white coat. When I put this on and then look in the mirror, I think to myself, it's okay. The men in white coats are here to help you, Robin, and they indeed helped. So we're back on course, and we are going down the Bure, and we'll be shortly turning off on the right-hand side to go down the Ant and get some water. So that's the plan continues, the day continues, and this is what happens when you have a camera and you're on your own. You start talking to it. Anything can happen. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, hope you're having a good time, because I certainly am. Until more happens, bye for now. So hi guys, it's 11:35 and I've just come through Ludden Bridge again after topping up with water at Ludden Bridge. Air draft under the bridge today, 8 foot dead. Today is quite a mild day. It's certainly not cold, it's not got any worse, there's no breeze in the air to be spoken of. It's not raining, but it's just dull. It's grey, makes the rivers grey, makes the mud seem more muddy, and so everything's just a bit drab. And also, a bit annoyed, got to point this out, at Ludden Bridge there's this water point, okay, and it's clearly signed water point and moorings for water only, yeah? And just along the way, a little bit silly to put it quite so close to the water point I believe, is the moorings for that. It's the Oldfield Trust boat. So, what do? You go there, you get your water, and then you go away, don't you? No. So, this boat in front of me gets there, and there's a boat already there, they fill up with water and they go. He fills up with water and then just leaves the boat and decides to go off and have a walk around and off to the shops kind of thing, which means that I can't then use the actual water point mooring to get my water. And anyone that sort of knows that area at Ludden Bridge, outside the point where the water hoses are, there's some mooring posts, but just towards the bridge there's no mooring posts. The quay goes down like this and there's no mooring posts, and then they start up again the closer you get to the bridge. So I had to tie both the bow and the stern to the one post and then drag the hose across the muddy ground far more than I needed to top up water. I know that's a moan. It's now moan! I'm getting old, it's like moaning. But there's consideration. Like, I didn't moor at the Nancy Oldfield Trust moorings, not because the boat was there, it's because, well, the boat might come back and then I might inconvenience them, and it says not to moor here, so I didn't. And if I topped up with water and thought I'm going to need to go to the shops, get some paper or whatever, I just moved the boat along on the ropes a bit, tie it up there we go. Right, now I can spend as much time as I want, and anyone that comes after me, there's a free spot to get their water. I don't know, some people. So that's the moan out of the way. I'm actually, the last time I was doing Captain's Blogs, which was in August, end of August, September, aboard Salerno 2, I did a lot of talking. They lasted a lot of time, 18-20 minutes a pop. This time, not so much talking, not so much going on. I actually think it's because for the first part of the week I was with the lads, and that was basically going along, stopping, drinking, sleeping. Going along, yeah. Then departed them, and then I suddenly felt, now the holiday begins. Peace and tranquility, and freedom to do as I wish. And with it, because I hadn't been doing any Captain's Bloggery before, so the inspiration to do much talking to the camera and stuff fizzled away. And now it's come back, and you're having to put up with these bloody long diatribes from me, just because I'm like, right, okay, it's only 3 days left of the damn holiday, let's catch up with some blogging. Right. Do you want to see what's going on out front, instead of looking at me, you know? Okay. Right, so now you've got something dull to look at. We're just coming up to the junction with the River Bure. And as you'll notice, looks like the Environment Agency have been about and doing their flood defence work. And it's a bit like when a shop closes down in your local high street and the new shop opens, but they have to get the builders in and gut the whole place and rip the concrete floor up and start afresh. Well, when they seem to need to re-dig the channel for the flood defence work, part of that's also like, right Bob, get rid of all these weeds and the trees and everything and open the whole lot up. It looks much more pretty. Looks like we're doing a good bit of work there. Why? Why do you need to cut back all the trees and the reeds? I don't understand. What you're doing by the way, it's over there. It's not here. It's over that way on the right hand side. So anyway. Yay! London Rascals gone mad, it's finally happened. It's taken a while, but it had to happen one day, and it happened. On Friday, the 19th of October. Right, concentrate. Rascal, you've got boats, ships ahoy! Better stop. And that, before your very eyes, is Ramworth Stade, and this is Morehouse Broad. And it's time to pop into the little gift shop and get something to drink and have a stroll about. And that's nice when a boat leaves as you're approaching, but there is plenty of space today. This is a very popular mooring in the summertime, so the trick then is to come to the Broad, mud wait, and then keep a lookout, ready to pounce on a mooring once a boat goes. That's the Rascal top tip there. So now we've done many stern-on moorings, but there's always that time when you think, oh, don't cock up in front of people. So we'll see how it goes today. I'd love to be able to show you that, but not quite sure how to do the camera and do the stern-on mooring all at once. So we're just leaving Ramworth Stade behind. It's now just coming up to 1:30. I've just had a look on the Roxham webcam, and Barnes Brinkcraft is full. The moorings outside the Hotel Roxham are also full, and so I'm going to push along down the river, but it is going to be a horning, not in the morning, but in the evening. So hi guys, well I'm afraid the stables at Le Boatyard, yes, the moorings are full, so having to go to plan B, which is to moor at the Ferry Inn, which I didn't want to do because it can get a bit noisy, you know, other boats, the pub itself, etc. I would go down to the public stay at Horning. Possibly that would be free as well, but again, later on, as sure as Bob's your uncle, there's going to be more boats coming along then, and I did want somewhere a little bit quieter, But anyway, so it's going to have to be the ferry. There aren't any moorings, or rather there aren't any boats at the moorings at the present time. So I'll turn round, so I'll come in on this side. It's pouring with rain, as you can probably see. My outfit has now changed to match the occasion. And so that's what the plan is going to be. There's no real point in going along when you can barely see. I want to show you something as well. This is the water pipe windscreen wiper. The windscreen wiper that was on there originally had no rubber blade, so I've gone and bought myself a suitable windscreen wiper, 99p's from Roy's DIY, and plonked it on there. So we now have a nice windscreen wiper, manually operated. Obviously when they were designing the boat they could have gone for the electric windscreen wiper, but hey, why bother? Get the hirer to get some wrist movement in and you know, do it themselves, because it doesn't rain on the Broads, does it? And while I'm at it, why is the windscreen wiper here and not here? Because if it was there you'd have a greater arc of wipe. Got to think about your arc of wipe when you're installing windscreen wipers. Or even better, you could have like huge like pantograph setup wipers along here. That would be pretty damn good. Anyway, I've got to turn the boat around and moor in the rain. It's alright. This is what it's all about. And so ends day 8's Captain's Vlog here at the Ferry Inn public house in Horning, and you can see what the weather's doing outside as you join me inside in the warm and dry. And so this is where I'm going to be spending tonight. You can't get much better for my mother to come in the cab from Wroxham. Went into the boat, absolutely packed. I then went down to the public stave and that was full, and I didn't fancy that because of the fact that I can, as I am now, just continue to charge the batteries up without disturbing anyone, because the boat behind's not occupied and the exhaust on this boat is at the back, and there's no one in front of me at the moment, but if there was, from about sort of 10 foot away from this boat you can't hear the engine at all. But if you're behind it, yes, you certainly can. So I've been trying to be considerate and mooring with my arse end away from everyone else. Now, it's times like this that it's nice to be moored up when it's raining outside and everything else. And so what I've done is instead of just chilling out or relaxing, I've gone on a spring cleaning spree. Because there's one thing my mother hates, it's coming on board a boat and it being like, you know, mess everywhere. And anyway, she's got to know that Rascal can go away and not be a messy lad. So the fact the bedroom at home is appalling is neither here nor there. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing here. So it's end of day 8. We didn't do a lot today, did we, guys? I mean, I did have a bit of a mad moment, as you know. But tomorrow, day 9, we don't know what we're going to do. We're going to be not alone, not with the lads either. But I've got to take things easy with my mum, because the last time she came on a boat she broke her shoulder, so we've got to be careful, and she's on strict orders. No helping with the ropes or trying to get off, because she's the type of woman that thinks that you know, she's Superwoman or something. Oh, that's fine, I can... Yeah, that kind of person. So we've got to keep her under reins and stuff. So I'm actually looking forward to it, because we're going to have a lovely meal on the Ferry Inn, catch up on stuff. She was away in Portland for a week before she's come up here. My dad was supposed to be joining her as well, but he's still on an extended business trip. And if you're in Portugal on business and it's 27 degrees, are you going to come back to the wet and rainy Norfolk Broads, or are you going to just hang out in Portugal on expenses? I can understand where he's coming from. So that's what's happening with me, the captain, the rascal, the one and only Crazy Nut Nut. Until tomorrow, thanks for watching.